Hi, Pat the Podcast Editor here. In today's episode, Dan and Lloyd go back to their roots and give away their top tips for a successful marketing campaign. With Knowlton working with industry leaders such as Wool, Nestle and FIFA, these tips are tried and tested, almost 100% certain to boost your brand marketing if executed properly. Let's take a look.
These are the key elements that any piece of creative now, our team, our own content and our clients' campaigns that they need to tick. So the first thing, relatable. Some of these will be things we've spoken about in the past, some won't. Is this piece of content relatable to the ideal person you want it to reach? Like, are they consuming this nodding along like, yeah. And when communicating to this team, I want them to be thinking, putting themselves and being empathetic in the target customer shoes. Are they literally nodding along to this, thinking, I can relate to that? You know, we've done campaigns targeting parents before, and we're really thinking when we're coming up with the concept, will parents actually relate to this?
And you have to nail down who that audience is really specifically at the start of this process. Because we previously, before we'd put this structure in place and had this checklist and this kind of thing while we were working all this out, we would come up with ideas first before we were kind of thinking about who this is for.
Doesn't make sense.
So they're generic ideas of like, we find this funny, or we would listen to this would persuade us. Whereas obviously focusing on relatability, you need to know who that audience is. And then, as Dan said, use that empathy, which we've discussed in previous episodes, to be like, so what does that 24-year-old male that likes Lord of the Rings want to be seeing and going to be nodding his head along to for this great Lord of the Rings product?
And actually take the time to understand those people. Like, as an agency, we put a lot of time into having kickoff calls and speaking to our customers to understand their customers, to figure out what are these people actually like. You know, they know them better than we do, and also do our own research to really figure out who they are. And it also helps if you have someone in the team who's in that demographic, because then you've got real people you can speak to.
I think this is a challenge more for smaller businesses rather than big corporations, is that they think of their marketing as, what do we want to put out to the world? Like the big brands know this and they've got teams working on this and it's fine. But say, for example, you know, a local golf club or a local gaming shop or something, like those kind of businesses.
Like, we love golf, we love gaming.
Yeah, what
Let's
do we
talk about
want our customers to know? We want you to know there's this offer on. And we want you to know we've changed our opening hours. But they don't think, what do our customers actually...
Empathy.
Yeah, what are they thinking? What the position they're in? How do we need to communicate to get through to them and persuade them to take whatever action?
I think even more recently, trying to share like some insights into how we do things, we've really shifted and really focused our creative sessions more on that as well. Like, rather than thinking, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Actually thinking, who are these people and what do they care about? What will really stop them scrolling in their newsfeed?
It makes it more, I find as well, it makes it more interesting when you have to get into the mindset of like, right, I'm a 17-year-old girl who loves skincare. That's actually a more interesting exercise. Or let's use a less creepy example. I'm a 50-year-old man, a beginner at golf.
Yeah,
like that. It's really interesting. You have to get yourself in that mind of like, okay, so I'm at the end stages of my career. I'm earning a decent amount of money. I'm actually thinking about retirement in the next 10 years. I go home and my kids have left the house.
Comfort's a key thing for me, and ease and convenience. Rather, like, I'm happy to pay more if it's more convenient to get coffee in the coffee shop rather
than price. I'm in a position now where I've earned a bit more, and my kids aren't at home. I've got more spare cash.
You're such a 50-year-old golfer.
I'm already in that mindset, to be honest. That's why that's so easy.
Cool. Okay, so that's the first point. Is it relatable?
So there you have it. Keep these tips in mind next time you're trying to produce content for your business or product. And if you found these tips useful, make sure you subscribe to the Business Anchors podcast on Spotify or Apple Music. Maybe even subscribe to Dan's newsletter, The Friday Club, to always stay in the loop for the newest marketing trends. To listen to the full episode, jump back to Business Anchors Podcast, episode 83, and we'll see you next week for another Knowlton Nugget.